News trading, whether CPI, NFP, interest rates, PPI, and many more high-impact news releases. You finally can insanely profit from these news events. I mean, not taking anything away from technical traders, but surely I can attest that fundamental traders are considered to be raking home huge amounts of money, mainly because we trade based on economic data releases, whether big moves made by central banks and liquidity providers. Hence, the need for all traders to be well equipped on news events and the impact they can have on the markets. In this video, I'm going to outline everything from news events, brokers, leverage, economic calendars, and currency pairs to trade, and also the tools you'll need to easily execute the markets should you happen to be trading news at any given time. And yes, all you need to do is subscribe to our channel and watch the most engaging content on our channel. So now, let's begin. Now, I'm going to be taking you step by step to understand everything there is to know about news trading. Number one, you choose a good broker. You might have noticed that a lot of traders have been complaining about brokers not paying off their withdrawals. Today, the problem is over because I'm going to share with you the best broker to use, which is AccuMarkets based in South Africa. Moving on, broker requirements. You require a broker with 1:1000 leverage. For example, if you have $100, the broker will now give you or borrow you an extra 1000 worth of leverage. In basic terms, you will now be having buying power equating to an account with 100,000 US dollars. That's how traders manage to make big wins with small capital, hence the meaning leverage. Moving on. Execution type. It should be market execution or instant execution. With this, you'll be able to execute the market instantly. You want that kind of a broker which doesn't have issues with latency. When you place a trade and then it takes several seconds to to execute. Now with these brokers like the one that I've already mentioned, AccuMarkets, you'll be able to execute markets under 0.1 seconds. That's how fast they are with their market executions. Moving now on to regulation. Very important. Understand that I've written down that with bold caps. Make sure the broker is regulated by at least 1 or 2 regulatory bodies. In the beginning stage of my trading career, I've had instances where I had deposited money onto a broker, and then I've traded a couple of trades, made money, and then came to a point where I wanted to withdraw my funds. And then the rest is history. They liquidated, they never showed again. So you don't want those instances where you'll be having trust issues with your broker. Make sure the broker is regulated so you can even follow through if you happen to have any complaints in future. Moving on, currency pairs to trade. You have USD for all US events. We also have NZD for all NZD events. Now, again, these pairs, you'll be using them appropriately as per event that is to trade that day. If we have FOMC event, you'll know that it affects all US pairs. If there is a NZD interest rate, or maybe there is a unemployment data, unemployment rate, stuff like that, concerning NZD, then you'll be using NZD USD. Same applies to NFP. NFP, non-farm payroll, you'll be using USD JPY for all the US events. Now, this comes with experience. The reason why I've been selecting this particular currency pairs, I've done that based on my experience. So it's best you rely on it, because You still have a lot to learn. Okay, now we have AUD USD for all OD events, Australian dollar versus the US dollar. You'll be using that kind of pair. We're moving on GBP USD for all GBP events. Lastly, we have Canadian JPY for all Canadian events. So these are the pairs that you'll be using in trading news. Moving on, economic data sets. Someone right now, I'm sure you're asking where to get current economic news releases. Don't worry, we have information already available for you. My most favorite site for economic calendar is forestfactory.com. I use it all the time. And secondly, we have investing.com, which is the second best. Then also we have myfxbook.com. Technical traders are most aware of this principle of not trading whenever there is news around the corner. And there is us fundamental traders who take advantage of the liquidity that comes with trading news releases. In summary, as a trader, you have to be both sound in technical and fundamental analysis. You want to be jack of all trades. In this, you have to also know everything that has to be concerned with technical. If I'm a fundamental trader, for sure, I have to have my technical analysis and also my fundamental analysis in check. Same applies to technical traders. Now, this data I'm about to release is based solely on experience. Coming on to events to trade. Number one, we have interest rates. Now, this data, be sure with me, is readily available on all those sites that have availed to you. You just head down to the economic calendar and you check mark all the high impact news. You would want to leave the medium and the low impact news because we want to focus on the high impact news where there is liquidity and there is volatility. Those high impact news, they move the markets. They instantly move the market. You find huge wicks under just two seconds when trading these events. And then number two, we have non-farm payroll released by the US Federation. Number three, we have consumer price index, which is CPI. We also have PPI, unemployment rates, and the rest. So mainly these guys over here, they move the market like crazy. So you'd mostly want to focus on these events when you want to trade.